The first word.
All right, we start with that championship caliber basketball game in Cleveland last night. Here's Greg Popovich's rousing victory speech after, quote, "We set the world of offensive basketball back 10 years," end quote. No kidding. Combine that with the fact that the primetime ratings for this series are the worst ratings ever. I ask you, Michael Smith, no stranger to hyperbole or exaggeration, how bad is this?
Well, look at our scores right now. I mean, we're almost to the scores last night. I mean, we're not that far off. You know, Tony, life is short, and what really, really bothers me is that I'll never, ever get the 9 hours that I've invested in this garbage basketball back in my life. I mean, how many things could I have done to be more productive? I could have read a book, read a couple of books. I could have started writing a book. I could have spent more time with my family. I could have cleaned up to my house. I could have done my spring, summer cleaning.
Sure.
I could have just meditated and had more fun than I did watching this. I mean, all I got to say is Anderson Varejao, however you pronounce this dude's name, don't take another shot in your entire life. It just frustrated me watching them either shoot the ball or give it back to LeBron. This is awful. I mean, the NBA and entertainment should just totally delete this from the records. Do not play the highlights. Matter of fact, there have been no highlights, so there's really nothing to play. Don't even reference this finals ever again. Just please spare us. San Antonio, please sweep the Cavs and end this long
That's
national
Michael
nightmare.
Smith, ladies and gentlemen. How about you, Mariani?
I know what you mean, Michael. My senses are ravaged. I need new LASIK surgery. I can't breathe today. This is awful, reality, and I don't think we're overstating how bad this is. Bad ratings, bad games, and here's the problem. We've had them in the past, too, in this decade. It's not confined to this year. I remember a series, the Spurs and the Nets, and other bad series, just not happening. Coupled with the fact that LeBron James, who was supposed to carry this team and make it a series, you know, he's not getting any help, and at times he's not carrying his team. Late in the game, he missed a couple of layups, had a shot to take over, and did not. Here's the problem. Old school basketball wins reality. The Spurs are going to win their 4th championship, but it does not sell. That's the problem. As much as we want to call it a dynasty, all they do on ABC is show Tony Parker and Eva Longoria. And that's all we see all night long. That's not going to sell either. You've got to think of something
watching
like
Eva Longoria is better than watching this basketball.
Think about reseeding. Think about something. But this is not watchable.
We'll
it's
get
an
to that in a
irrelevant
second.
event.
Kalish will join us.
Tony, counting time spent on the runway at Logan Airport, waiting for the rain to move through Manchester. I was in a plane for a little over 5 hours yesterday. Middle seat, by the way. Thank you, worldwide leader.
Of course you were.
And that was more entertaining than the 3 hours I spent watching basketball last night.
So you're not
if you
thrilled
can call
either.
it basketball. Here's the obvious problem. The quote you gave from Greg Popovich. We've set basketball back 10 years. That's the winning coach. What does the losing coach have to say about this? 27 total points in the third quarter. And the problem is, we have seen this before. The Knicks series, when they played the Spurs, looked a lot like this. New Jersey, when they played the Spurs, looked a lot like this. The Spurs are just too good for anybody in the Eastern Conference to handle. They're 15-5. When they get to the finals, they just take the other team out of the offense. They suck the life out of the game. Congratulations to them for doing it, but it's not fun to watch.
All right, Tim, but the Bulls were too good for everybody in the West in the 1990s, and the Lakers were too good for everybody earlier.
Jordan. That's why. That was the
Oh,
difference.
is that why? Go ahead, Woody Page.
It was bad. It was so bad it was worse than getting a divorce, or several, for that matter.
Don't
I
go
think
there,
it's
Woody Page.
important to realize here, though, in talking to George Karl, the Denver Nuggets coach, several days ago, he said the defenses are so far ahead of offenses, and that's not what the NBA needs. So this is bad for this. The NBA needs to go back and retool again. As we evolve in the NBA, you're going to see more and more of this because the teams that run like the Phoenix Suns just haven't been able to emerge. You have teams that bang it up, push around. This does remind me, Kalish, when Pat Riley was with the New York Knicks. It was the most boring, disgusting basketball to ever watch. In the NBA, I will tell you, I'm a solutions-oriented guy. Number one, I think the NBA could open up the floor by eliminating one player. Have 4 against 4. We've seen it.
Are you serious?
Well, thanks a lot. Yes. But if you saw 4 against 4, we've seen it in the National Hockey League. Tim Kalishaw knows.
You've been covering basketball for the better part of 40 years, Woody Page. You want them to change the rules like that? Michael Smith, get in there.
No, in all seriousness, guys, are we really surprised by this? Because we know that these are 2 really good defensive teams, and we know what type of basketball San Antonio likes to play. But we've also seen San Antonio, whether it's against Dallas or Phoenix or Utah, play up-tempo type basketball. The problem, as I see it, is LeBron's supporting cast or lack thereof thereof. I'm not even going to say that Anderson guy's name again, but he has nobody on his team that can shoot. 3 out of 19 three-pointers. If he doesn't score, the rest of that team has no offensive ability whatsoever. The league has to figure out a way.
Take us back to the idea of reseeding, though, Mariotti.
Well, you could intertwine the East and the West. John Hollinger of ESPN.com does a nice job on that today. However, Stern has to make sure the TV networks cooperate. He's already on record as saying they won't cooperate. They should.
Take the 6 division winners, then take the teams with the 10 next best records, seed them 1 through 16, and you'll have a Phoenix-San Antonio final that would be entertaining.
Any other broad ideas, Woody Page?
Yes, if you don't like that answer, I have another one. Here would be the revised playoffs.
No, we are
and
not
if you go through it, you would end up with 50.
Nobody could read anything that's on that blackboard, Woody Page.
LeBron's
the
career
writing is like this big. We need to move on now anyway. Next, golf. Zach Johnson's quest for the Grand